Hello, everybody. What is up? This is Craig in the Spirit of Vinyl. Hope you guys are all having a wonderful week. Finally, Friday, which is always good. Time to talk some records. Start drinking a little bit of beer here and there. Today, I'm drinking this one right here, Yuengling's Traditional Lager. Pretty good for a large batch brewery. If I'm just going for something normal, I kind of go for this. This is a brand I'd never heard of until I moved to Tennessee. Being from the West, if you're from the West, you've probably never heard of this either. Never existed out there, not where I was from anyway. And once I got out here, I'm like, what the hell is this Yuengling stuff? I see ads for it and billboards everywhere. Not a bad beer though, not too bad. So anyway, missed you all last week. Hope you guys all had a wonderful Father's Day. I didn't get a video out last week. I was busy. It was Father's Day. Hope you guys all got some cool stuff. Those of you who celebrate, those of you who are dads out there, hope you got some presents. Mine's sitting right over there on that speaker. I got me a spin clean from my son, so time to start large batch cleaning some records here soon. So anyway, I've noticed a few threads going around and stuff like that. There's a couple of threads going out right now I want to jump on, so I'm going to combine two threads today. And I'm going to start another one, I think, at the same time. So all of this will have some sort of threads, kind of connected, kind of not, or whatever. Since today is the 20th of June, it is the summer solstice, so I thought summertime, let's kick off summer. So I'm going to show some records, have songs about summer or whatever. So that's going to be the first thread. We'll just call it, summer thread or whatever. It doesn't have to be a thread. That's just what I'm doing. You guys do what you want. You want to take this and make a summer thread? Go for it, man. Sounds like fun. We're all just kind of winging it out here anyway. So I'm just having a good time. I want to show some records. Got a theme this week, essentially. So I'm going to start off Type O Negative, Bloody Kisses. This is a great record, kind of doomy and gloomy. Peter Steele's voice is tremendous for what he does, but they do a remake of Summer Breeze on this record. Summer Breeze makes me feel fine, and it definitely does. I want to say that was the Association. Don't quote me on that. I'm not sure who sang Summer Breeze the first time, but there's a remake of Summer Breeze on Type O Negative's Bloody Kisses. All right, next up, the Eurythmics. This is In the Garden, which is its own way kind of a summer theme, In the Garden. And there's a song on here called English Summer. So that's going to fit this thread a little bit. This is a pretty good record. This is kind of an earlier Eurythmics. I don't know what it is about the Eurythmics. Her voice and all his work and the keyboards and the guitar tones, I really do like this band a lot. So next up, Bananarama. This is Bananarama. I think that's this is their self-titled album, and this has Cruel Summer on it. These girls, very cool, little, kind of new wave pop trio, I guess you'd say. I remember back in the day when this album came out, this wasn't my style of music, but the songs Cruel Summer and Venus were very popular. And, let's face it, as a 15-year-old kid, these girls are hot. So, that was, so anyway, yeah, Cruel Summer by Bananarama. Let's see here. The Motels, Little Robbers. This has the song Suddenly Last Summer on it. And this is another band that I've always kind of dug and started buying their catalog recently. Very cool stuff. Cool band. I really like that. And to finish off my summer part of the thread, Soundtrack of Grease, and the song is Summer Nights which for 1,000 years I always called Summer Lovin'. It's the one, Summer Lovin', Had Me a Blast, you know, the duet between John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John. The song is called Summer Nights. Second song on the record. I love this record, always have. This is probably the one I've had the longest. I think I posted that in a video a year or so ago about records I've owned the longest. I think I've had this album since I was like 11 years old. This actual copy right here. So that's it for the summertime thread. So now I'm gonna jump on a thread. Let's see who did that again. Yeah, for Richard's Vinyl Tap House. He wanted songs about heat. We have a heat wave happening. It just hit here in the south today. It was 95 degrees out there and I don't know, 85% humidity. And this heat wave, he was talking about that. You know, this thread's been going for 3 or 4 days. I haven't seen a whole lot of them out there. I know people are doing them. I just haven't had time to watch. So I might be showing stuff that other people have shown, but it is what it is. So he wanted songs about heat or fire, or, you know, some people I heard like ashes and different things like that. Anything that had to do with heat. So I'm going to show those 5 for Richard at Richard's Vinyl Tap House. And I'll link his channel below also. Megadeth, So Far So Good So What. Second song, side 1, Set the World Afire. And when you walk out there and it's 95 with 80% humidity or 90% humidity, you feel like the world is on fire. Of course, Megadeth is talking about a different kind of fire when they're talking about Set the World Afire. But there we go. Megadeth, So Far So Good So What, Set the World Afire. And when you're out in all that heat and it's so hot and you can hardly stand it, you get Crazy from the Heat by David Lee Roth. A little 4-song EP. It's good. I kind of dig some of the solo David Lee Roth stuff. But you know, you run into this at the record store and the price was $10, you know, you can't pass on it. So David Lee Roth, Crazy from the Heat. He's enjoying a little dip there. So let's see. Next up, Municipal Waste, Electrified Brain. There's a song on here called Crank the Heat, which is the last thing you want to do when you're in a heat wave is crank the heat. Cool thrash band, Municipal Waste. This is a very cool, old school sounding thrash, very fast, sort of a little bit of hardcore mixed in there. So Crank Up the Heat, or is it Crank Up the Heat? It's just called Crank the Heat, from Municipal Waste. Next up, Kitty's latest album is called Fire. It's got all this fire on the cover, and I thought of this one when it came to a heat wave. There's definitely a heat wave going on the front cover of this record. Killer record. Kitty's been around for a long time. Originally kind of a nu metal band, but this is more of a thrashy type style. Very cool album. Fast, just great stuff. I love this band, of course, you know that. I've talked about them on multiple times. And finally, Rage Against the Machine, Battle of Los Angeles, Sleep Now in the Fire. So that's where I went heat and fire for this thread. So Rage Against the Machine, Battle of Los Angeles, Sleep Now in the Fire. So that was the heat thread for Richard at Richard's Vinyl Tap House. All right, the next thread I was going to jump on is UFO thread. And the funny thing about the UFO thread, it's from Vinyl Stockholm, who's not somebody I follow. Sorry. Maybe I will later. I kind of looked at his channel. We don't have a lot of the same taste in music. But I was Northern Vinyl guy, and I saw somebody else do it, this thread for UFOs. And it was funny to me because like 2 days before that, I'm driving around at work thinking, I should do a thread on UFOs. There's a lot of music out there. I could do that, like aliens and UFOs and things like that. So I should do that. Then I come home and I'm looking at YouTube and there's this UFO thread that's got started. So I'm just going to jump on it. And thanks to Vinyl Stockholm for getting it to us. I will link his channel down below as usual also. So first for aliens, Megadeth, Rust in Peace. got an alien on the front cover, and the song Hangar 18 is on here. And we all know what Hangar 18 is about. That's where the United States government hides all their alien spacecrafts, and all their alien technology is at Hangar 18. So this was obviously, for me, you're talking about aliens and UFOs, it's got to be this record right here. You know, it tells the, you know, showing the alien on the front cover, and tells us the true story of Hangar 18, where our government lies and hides stuff from us. So, next up, Lizzie Borden's Menace to Society. The first song, side one, is called Generation Aliens. I don't know what you can say about Lizzie Borden. This is a great band. I don't know how they never really got bigger than they were. But man, they're excellent. What an excellent band. His voice is sometimes that falsetto type sound, but man, such great songs. So Lizzie Borden, Menace to Society, and Generation Aliens. Next up, Deep Purple, Machine Heads, got Space Truckin' on it. So there you go. We're going Space Truckin' with Deep Purple. And you're out in space, must be in a UFO or something if you're going space trucking. Now I know they're probably singing about something else, but that's okay. Got the word, sorry, that beer's talking back. Got the word space in it, space trucking, so aliens, UFOs, space, and so on. Then we're gonna go Steve Miller Band, Brave New World. Let's see here. And the song Space Cowboy. So, yeah, Steve Miller Band, Brave New World, and has the song Space Cowboy. So, there we go. That's more space stuff. And you know me, I'm a Kiss fan. I could not talk about space and stuff without talking about Ace Frehley. This is 10,000 Volts. And it has the song called Walking on the Moon. And he is Space Ace. So there's a twofer for you out there. Space Alien. Ace is a space alien. He came from outer space to play kick-ass guitar for us all, man. Don't you know that? So Ace Frehley, 10,000 Volts, and the song Walking on the Moon. All right, one more. This is a bonus. This is also not a vinyl, but I have to show this. This is a band called the Lunite Troupe. And this guy right here, his name is Rick. Or his name was Rick. And I know you've heard me talk about my friend Rick who died, and I got some of his records. And this is a band that Rick was in. And they're called the Lunite Troupe from Ogden, Utah. And there is a song on here. See if I can get that to focus. Am I Alien? This you will never find unless you happen to know somebody who was either in this band or in the Salt Lake, Utah area. But this is very cool avant-garde type music. My buddy Rick was a crazy man. And that's Rick right there in the front with the hat that says the Lunite Troupe on it. That was my buddy Rick, who I miss very, very much. And this is the only copy of the CD I've ever seen. He had this one, and he gave it to me, and I cherish this with everything. So, Lunite Troupe, Am I an Alien? Or Am I Alien? Not Am I an Alien? Am I Alien? So, this kind of gives you the idea of what these guys kind of look like. This guy right here, his name was Bob Moss, and he was sort of semi-famous in the Salt Lake music scene back in the day. So, that's also who's on this band. So, I mean, the track listing on here, My Name's Not Coco, Monkey Washing Kitty Cat, Opposite Yet the Same Clowny Sound, Big Top Blues, Buy Me a Monkey, shit like that. Just very cool stuff that the world would not have been ready for at the time. So anyway, that's all I've got for today. Like I said, we've got aliens, we've got heat, and it's the first day of summer, so I need you guys all to take care and watch out there. Watch out for the heat. Stay hydrated. This is not the way to stay hydrated, but it doesn't hurt. And if you drink enough of this and look up, you might see some aliens or whatever. But keep your eye up ahead anyway. We know they're out there because Hangar 18 tells us that the aliens are there. The government's just not telling us about it, right? Right. All right, thanks, guys. I love you all, and I will talk to you all next week. I'm pretty sure next week, that's my plan anyway. But you know what they say about plans, whatever. So, all right, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll talk to you all later, man. Have a good one.